guys, it's Shay. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about beauty, nursing, and lifestyle weekly. If this shirt or this look looks familiar to you, you're what we call on YouTube an OG, meaning you've been rocking with me since my first YouTube video. Today is celebratory. I'm going to recreate my first YouTube video, which was a Valentine's Day chit chat. Get ready with me. You guys know I talk nursing on my channel, but beauty has always been one of my #1 loves. It's always something that will be a part of my life. Valentine's Day is my favorite holiday. I love things all girly, all pink, whether you're single, taken, married, divorced. I feel like it's just an expression of love and joy. And you guys know I love drugstore makeup because on my channel we stand by bougie on a budget. You do not have to spend a lot of money to look like a lot of money. And that's what I always preach to you guys. And I also try to practice it as best as I can. But I want you guys to always have someone on YouTube who is just a regular smuggler girl working her job, out here spending her money, but also being smart with her money. So we're not going to keep you guys for 35 minutes like that video was before. But if you want to go back and watch it, just speed it up so it won't be 35 minutes. But we're going to do a voiceover for this one. So if you guys need a Valentine's Day look, if you're interested in seeing kind of how my first YouTube video went, I will occasionally pop clips up here for you to see. But let's go ahead and get started. Before I start with my first step of my face, which is my brows, I like to go ahead and prime so I can make sure that the base is set and it's ready for when I get ready for foundation application. So I'm going to use the same thing I used in my first video, the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. This is a dupe for the Tatcha Silk Canvas. I love this putty primer, guys. As you can see, I'm almost to the bottom of it and I'm going to be getting ready to open my backup pretty soon. And I'm also going to use the Wet n Wild Primer water. Is this absolutely necessary for your look? I don't think so. I typically use one by Smashbox, but the Wet n Wild one works just as good, and it's really going to give you the prep for your face and ready for your foundation. Next, I'm going to try to measle through and actually do my brows on camera for once for you guys. If this is sped up, you know what happened. It did not work, but we're going to talk about some of the products. Again, using one of the same products from my first video, the Wet n Wild Retractable Pencil, which is actually a dupe for the Anastasia Retractable Pencil. And then I'm going to go ahead and use my e.l.f. Pomade, which is a dupe for the Anastasia Pomade. Now, I know you guys hear me mentioning a lot of high-end, and I know you might be wondering, how do these compare to the regular? So the retractable pencil is actually almost exactly the same as the Anastasia one, but this e.l.f. pomade is probably a little bit lighter in tint. I definitely, if I'm going for a more darker look, I'm going to use my Anastasia pomade, but I do think the e.l.f. gives you a nice natural finish and it allows you to work to your own pace. It's definitely beginner friendly, and it also doesn't get dried out as easily as some of my other pomade. Now what I do last is carve out the brows. I know I've heard before that some people still do this and some people are more for the natural brow. I think this makes my brows stand out, and I think this is what helps me perfect them. So I'm using this ColourPop No Filter foundation stick, which I actually do not like as a foundation at all, but is perfect to carve out the brows. So I measly do my bottom brow bone, and then I'm going to use the end of my top brow bone just to clean up a little bit, and you guys can see how much better it has made the brows look. Okay, y'all, my brows are cousins and not sisters, and that's always how they are. So let's go ahead and move into the next step, which are the eyes. So you guys know in my last video, I used the My Glamour Squad palette by Wet n Wild. These palettes are amazing by Color Icon, Wet n Wild, guys. They are so pigmented, they blend so easy, and they're perfect for beginners. This is, I know you guys are tired of me saying dupes, but this is a dupe for the Soft Glam palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. So if you have that one and you want to use it, feel free. But I'm going to tell you guys about some of the colors here. So the first thing I do anytime I'm doing eyeshadow is I like to go in with the eye primer. Now, I don't have any favorite drugstore eye primers. I can't seem to find one that's good for me, but what I will tell you guys that I do as a trick is I use a concealer when I'm doing my eyes for drugstore to be my eyeshadow primer. So you guys see me putting on the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer on my eyelids, and we'll talk more about that as I go into concealer. So the next thing I'm going to do is take the Wet n Wild My Glamour Squad palette and find a crease color. I usually go for a color that is pretty much close to what my foundation is going to be or my regular skin tone. So I will go in the crease with that, and that just helps with any blending that you are going to do. After that, guys, I'm going to go in with, I believe it's going to be a red shade. And I guess what I tried to do in my old video is kind of make like an ombre look. I'm going to see if I can do that again. And if not, I have some extra material that are drugstore that will help me if I cannot achieve it. So I'm going to go on the outside with this brick red color that you see me pointing to here. Then I'm going to go in the inner lid with this. It looks like an orange, but it's kind of like a chocolate orange color. Don't worry, guys, this is going to come out good, I promise you. So I'm just going to make sure I blend those two very well together so there's kind of a base shade. And then what I want to do is use this rose gold at the top. I think this is really going to make the pink pop out that I want to see. Okay, guys, so this eye look actually is coming out a lot better than I thought it would, and I'm following the exact same steps. So the last thing that I'm going to do is just a little bit different than the first video. Is there is like a dark brown / dark cherry shimmery color underneath the rose gold that I show you guys. I'm going to put that towards the outside of the lid, kind of where I put the brick red, but I'm not going to put a whole bunch, just a little bit to give it some depth. And then I'm going to go in the inner corner with the rose gold shade. What I'll do is after this is complete, the eyes are practically done, guys. I don't do my eyeliner, my mascara, and all that stuff until I go back in after the face. So we have our completed or semi-completed eye look so far. All right, guys, it is face time and I've already prepped, but we are going to be using the same foundation, the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Stick Foundation. Honestly, y'all, I have not used this since I did my last tutorial, so this is going to be a little bit of something for me to see if I'm going to continue to use this or if I'm going to chuck it out my collection because it's been there for 3 years. So if I'm not using it, I need to get rid of it. So the stick foundations are always tough for me because I think they're a little bit harder for me to blend. But we'll go ahead and see. So I usually start with a streak on each cheek. I do a streak or two on my forehead and a streak or two on my chin. I try to focus on the forehead a little bit more because you guys know I'm heavy-handed everywhere else. And for some reason, I always forget this big 5 head of mine. I'm going to spray my Kokie brush with my Milani Make It Last. And I'm going to use that to help me blend this as best as I can on my face. I recently did a foundation application video, which I will tag up above, which gives you guys some tips on what I usually do for my cream foundations. And I kind of feel like this applies the same here. You want to buff into the skin and not paint or brush. You want to make sure you have a good base or a good foundation. And you just want to make sure you cover all the areas, blend out your neck, blend towards your ears, and etc. Next step in this routine is to go in with the concealer. So I'm using a big drugstore favorite. I actually forgot about this and think I'm going to pull it out to use for makeup soon. And this is the L'Oreal Paris Infallible Full Wear. I wear shade 415 Honey. And guys, this has amazing coverage. So I still do almost the same technique for my concealer, but the only thing different that I do now is I let it sit on my face for about a minute or two before I start to blend it. I found that I get a lot more coverage for my dark circles when I do this. And of course, as you guys can see in the clip, I'm using a fan to help me dry. This is something that I got from Jackie Aina, and it's so hilarious, guys, but it works. And you can get these fans that I'm using from the Dollar Tree. Yes, I sell it, the Dollar Tree. Some other quick tips I can give you guys about concealer application is actually using the dofa that's included on your concealer to help you apply it evenly. So if you don't have enough on your brush and you're just drawing the triangle, you're not going to get the coverage you want. You really need to use that dofa applicator to make sure you get an even amount of the product throughout the bottom of the eye. And then also, you guys can see I use my concealer in a lighter shade just so I have a brightened under eye. I also use the concealer to go on my chin, my cupid's bow, my nose, and my upper forehead for highlighting. Okay, guys, the key to having a good concealer that won't crease is having a good setting powder. Now, I know most of you guys hear about Laura Mercier, and I will swear by it and say it's absolutely worth it. If you had to have one thing in your collection that was high-end versus everything else was drugstore, I would say go out and get the Laura Mercier translucent powder and translucent honey. Now, I do have a drugstore dupe here for you guys today. I don't say it's 100% dupe, but it is what I'm going to use since this is a drugstore video. So I have the Collab Loose Setting Set the Stage Ultra Fine Powder, and this is an almond caramel. So this is what I'm going to be using to set today. And one particular tool I have to mention that I use is the e.l.f. Flawless Concealer Brush, guys. This was so big back in the day. It is so hard to find now. I actually had to order like 3 or 4 off e.l.f.'s website, but you will see how I use it in this clip and why it's so important to me. Because we're going to go into my favorite parts of the video, which are blush, bronzer, and highlighter. So first thing we'll talk about real quick is blush. I am using the Milani Baked Powder Blush. Guys, if you don't have this and you get drugstore makeup, you need to go run and get them now. They are so good. They are so pigmented and they're just so pretty. So today I'm going to be using Dolce Pink. I think I used a Rimmel blush in my old video. That one I no longer have, so I'm gonna go right in with this Dolce Pink, but I think this is one of your best options at the drugstore for blushes. Make sure you get the baked ones. After that, for bronzer, I'm gonna be using something that is like a hidden gem. I actually got this from Andrea Renee. So Milani has pressed powders and they have a shade called Earth Glow. It is so beautiful on melanated women. I'm so impressed with the drugstore now, and they're catering to melanated women when it comes to bronzers. Guys, it used to be so hard to get a bronzer. I don't even think I used one in my last video, but it used to be so hard to get one that would not be ashy on your skin. Shout out to CoverGirl Queen Collection for having one of the first ones that we all own. But there's tons of other stuff now. There's Morphe. I think a e.l.f. one, which is also good, always spicy. But this one, y'all, is just so rich, as you can see. And I haven't really been wearing highlighter a lot anymore, but I knew I wore it in my past video when I did this. And I'm choosing the Maybelline Master Chrome today in Molten Gold. This is very beautiful, again, on melanated skin. You guys will see a Molten Topaz. For some reason, the pigmentation of that one looks beautiful. It's very bronzy, but when you put it on, it's not as, you know, glowing as this Molten Gold or Molten Gold. So definitely pick this one up if you're still into highlighter. I think it's one of the best ones. But again, I'm very impressed with the drugstore now as far as their highlighter collections as well. I think a lot of the brands have kind of gotten up on game, but this Molten Gold I can definitely say is a dupe for my Gold Deposit by MAC. Can y'all see why blush, bronzer, and highlighter are my favorite part of the face? They bring so much depth. I wish if I have an opportunity to put a clip of before and a clip of after I put all that on, I will do it now. But it just brings so much flavor to the face. So let's go ahead and, you know, seal this flavor in. We're going to go ahead and set. I'm going to use the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop Mattifying Powder today. I have the shade Mocha. It is CSWSM08. That's a lot, y'all. But I'm going to use this to set my face. Light layer. One of the reasons I didn't go heavy on the foundation is because this does have some coverage and I didn't want to be super cakey. So we'll go on with that. And then after that, I'm going to go in with what I like to call my melting spray. There is no such thing as a melting spray, y'all, but this is what I like to call it. It is my Milani Make It Last. If you ever look so cakey, if you have a look you put too much on, the key is to have a melting spray, and the Milani Make It Last melts it. Okay, y'all, so going back into the eyes, I'm actually going to prep and get ready to put on some lashes. So the first thing I'm going to do is go in with my bottom lash liner or my bottom eye liner, and that is the LA Girl Glide Gel Liner, y'all. I love this stuff. I use black. I know people say they don't use black anymore, but I've always used black and I will always continue to use it. It actually makes my eyes look a little bit smaller than they really are, so that's why I like to use the black. After I use the liner, I'm going to go back into the Wet n Wild My Glamour Squad palette, and I'm just going to add a little color to my bottom eyeliner also. Probably a little pink and a little bit in depth with that like cherry brown shimmer color that I had. And I'm going to go back in and make sure I do some inner corner highlight again to make sure that the eyes pop. Lastly, I'm going to coat my eyes in mascara in preparation for my false lashes. So I'm using the Maybelline I can never say this, the Lash Sensational Sky High, and this is in Very Black, and this is one of my favorite mascaras currently. Okay, y'all, I am no longer a lash girl with glue. I have moved over to the magnetic side, and I can't seem to get myself back to the glue side. I really wanted to use the lashes that I used in my last video because they are so pretty, but I have just been obsessed with magnetics that I do not want to go back. So I'm using this magnetic eyelash kit by Renee. If I can put a link down in the description box, I will. It comes with 5 pairs of lashes and 2 magnetic liners. The inside of my kit is so dirty, but I will show you guys real quick. So you have basically like everything from a very natural classic look all the way up to a super glam and in between. You also get the 2 liners, and you also get an applicator to help you apply the magnetic lashes. So once again, I'm going to put you guys through the torture of watching me try to do this on camera. So first you want to take the magnetic glue and you're going to go right over the top eye line as if you were doing like a winged liner almost. Second thing is you have to have a really steady hand. If you apply regular lashes with no problem, these will be amazing for you. I go by the adage, you don't do it, you lose it. As y'all can see, we have finally got here and she is looking bomb, and y'all can't even tell she's magnetic. That's why I'm obsessed with these, y'all. So much easier for me to apply, so much less work. So we are going to go in with my final setting spray. I am going to cover the eyes, and I am using the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. This is the regular one. Mine is just in a limited edition packaging, but I feel like this is perfect for making sure that your makeup will last. And I'm also going to go in with my NYX brow gel and just set my brows. I do have a high-end option for this also. It is Anastasia, but since this is drugstore, the NYX one works just as well. Now for the grand finale, y'all, we're going to go in with my classic red lip. So I'm actually using a new red lip for you guys that I feel is perfect for melanated women. I found this brand in Walmart. It's called the Lip Bar. It first attracted me because it had so many women of all different shades and sizes on their logo, and basically it was stating that they had something for everyone. I seen this one woman in red, y'all, and I was like, I have to have it. So the red that I'm using is by the Lip Bar, and it is called Boss Lady. I'm also going to line my lips. Typically when I wear a red, I will line with a red also, but I've been in between red liners lately, so I am actually going to use a brown to help it blend. So I am taking my NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner in Cold Brew, lining my lips, and then I will go in with Boss Lady. This is too much to even talk while I'm doing it, y'all, so just watch the magic. Just watch the magic. So my keys to colored lipsticks and red lipsticks, y'all, and I'm still trying to perfect this, so make sure you leave in the comment box below if you have any tips or techniques. But I line first with brown, I fill with red, I pucker, I line with my red lipstick, and then I go back after that has dried and I lined with my brown again. And I do put my lips in, and I use the powder brush to kind of powder around. So if there was anything that got out of control, the powder will kind of blend it out. So this is my little technique for red, but of course, if you guys have anything, you make sure you let me know. But guys, this look is it. This is the final look. And we're going to go ahead and transition into... Okay, guys, so here is the completed look, and I want to thank you guys so much for staying tuned all the way to the end of the video. If you stayed this long, make sure you drop a pink heart so I know you are riding with the videos. As you guys can see, I dropped a few gems throughout the voiceover to just let you know some technique, some drugstore finds, what's working for me now, and etc. So I'm going to go ahead and close the video here, guys. No need to recap all the products because I think I explained everything as I go, but I just hope that you guys enjoyed this quick little refresher or recap on my first YouTube video. So exciting for me to film, so excited to be touching my makeup again because it's been so long with the pandemic, and so happy to share this moment with you guys. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe down below so you can stay updated on new videos. Comment down below Any products you tried, anything you like, any other dupes you want to know about, you let me know. I want to thank you guys so much. If you have been a person that's been riding with me since the first video uploaded, you are the best, and I appreciate you guys on this journey with me on YouTube. Happy Valentine's Day, happy February, happy 2022, and I will see you guys in my next upload.